everybody, it's Harvard Lawyer Lee. I want to give you the super quick version of the highlights of what happened during the cross-examination of Amber Heard by Camille Vasquez, Johnny Depp's lawyer. It was a great cross-examination, quick-paced, really well documented with all of the things that Amber Heard would have to admit. It was really well done. So here's the quick version of what happened. First of all, Camille Vasquez pointed out very effectively, I thought, that repeatedly when Amber Heard claimed she had serious injuries, broken nose, lots of things like that, bruises, cuts, serious wounds from abuse that she'd received, despite all of that, Amber Heard never sought medical treatment. She was around doctors. She had her nurse right there. She never mentioned to anybody that she had these injuries. The second thing that was really effective cross, I thought, was about the charity gifts, where Amber Heard stated publicly that she was going to give all $7 million that she received in the divorce settlement with Johnny Depp to charity, and then didn't. I did a video on that, and you can get all of the details about it. Amber Heard says, I'm planning to do that in the future, but Camille Vasquez took her through a well-done documentation that she told the UK court not that it was pledged, but that she had donated it. She also brought up a Dutch talk show, where, again, Amber Heard said donated all of that, and yet actually had not. So that, and she admitted that Elon Musk had paid $500,000 on her behalf, but said, I'm not counting that in the money, which she still hasn't paid. The third piece of evidence that I thought was, or cross-examination that I thought was really effective, was the knife. You may remember the knife where Amber Heard gave Johnny Depp a knife, and the knife said until death. She gave it to him for his birthday in 2012. And at that point, Camille Vasquez brought out, Amber Heard says she was already being hit, intimidated, abused by Johnny Depp, and yet she gave a man she believed was dangerous a knife, which seemed contradictory. The fourth thing was that all of the allegations of SV, I'm being cryptic for the YouTube algorithm, all the allegations of SV were brand new. That was important because the title of the op-ed, that's the centerpiece of the defamation claim, the title was that Amber had been a victim of SV. So Amber said, Amber's response to the questioning was, I couldn't state it before that because I was bound by the divorce agreement that I wouldn't talk about it. And that's why I didn't even mention it until much later. Camille Vasquez pointed out that Amber even added a brand new one at trial that wasn't even mentioned in her discovery. She hadn't even mentioned that before, and now suddenly had a brand new allegation. The fifth piece of testimony or cross that I thought was so effective was about Australia. That is a centerpiece because that's where Johnny Depp says Amber Heard threw a vodka bottle at him and severed the tip of his finger. Amber Heard says Johnny did it on a wall phone himself right there in the house. Johnny Depp told ER people he did it with a kitchen knife. So the cross was just practical, really effective for that very reason. Camille Vasquez pointed out that Ben King, the house manager, presented a list of all of the things he'd had to replace after the fight that damaged so many things, and none of them was a wall-mounted phone. Furthermore, there was a picture of a phone sitting on a desk, not a wall-mounted phone. There was a picture of one there. So why would they need a wall-mounted phone if they already had one sitting on the desk? She also took Amber through a series of questions about the fact that Johnny Depp had a severed fingertip and yet somehow managed to get his hands around her neck, hold her down by the neck, and then attack her using a bottle. Attacked her physically, sexually using a bottle. So that was really important testimony because once you thought about that, it did seem pretty unlikely that that would be possible. Amber's response was, I don't really have the sequence of events down. Maybe one was before the other. That was her response to that. She had set that up, by the way, in direct by saying several times, I don't really remember the sequence. So she was ready for that statement. And then Camille Vasquez brought up a couple of other things. One was an audio of an argument or discussion between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. And in that, Johnny Depp said, look, I went to 5 bathrooms and 2 bedrooms trying to get away from you, and you wouldn't let me. And then also brought out a text that Amber sent to her therapist, Dr. Cowan. Now, remember context, which is Depp's finger has just been cut off, and Amber Heard alleges that she's been violated, and in a terrible way. And yet, this is what she wrote to her therapist. She wrote, I don't know if I'll ever be able to change. Clearly, I can't figure this out. And Vasquez pointed out that was obviously a strange thing under the circumstances, if that's what you're worried about. The highlight, the single best line, I think, of the entire trial so far is from Camille Vasquez. She said, you're the one who assaulted someone with a bottle in Australia. Isn't that right? That was really well done. Then there was a journal that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard kept for each other. It was supposed to be a love journal where they would write down things to each other, love messages and stuff. It was, frankly, a very sweet idea. But there was this super creepy excerpt that they read from that Amber had written to Johnny and said, I still, more than before, want to rip you apart and devour you and savor the taste. Fret not. That was just a little, add in a little creepy level there. The next point was that Amber Heard has denied that she used drugs in front of Johnny Depp while he was trying to stay sober. That was frankly really not very believable given how much testimony there has already been about drug use. Also, Amber Heard argued that although she admits she used mushrooms at the wedding to Johnny, that she only did it with the bridal party so that it wouldn't tempt Johnny. Camille also got into the schedule for the wedding weekend, which included, after the wedding, dance party and drugs and music. And Amber said, well, that was just a draft, the original idea. Camille came back with, so the original idea was to do drugs on the island with somebody you claim is a drug-fueled monster. So that was some effective cross. There were also 2 new audios that were brought out. One was where Johnny said, I was asleep, Amber, and you came around the bed and started punching me. Then there was, and her only counter, Amber's only explanation for that was, well, I wasn't talking to him about that. I was talking about something different, so I didn't address it. Then there was another very bizarre tape that I thought was sort of inexplicable, where Amber's conduct was just very bizarre. She was laughing throughout. She was saying really mean things to Johnny, making fun of him. He was also countering with some pretty mean things, but she just kept laughing. It was a very strange video. And Amber finally did what she should have done all along, which is she finally stepped up to the plate and said, oh, okay, yeah, that was pretty bad. I shouldn't have done that. And she should have done that from the beginning. Johnny did that effectively in his examination, his cross-examination. There was also, at long last, really, talk about the op-ed that's the center of the entire dispute from Johnny Depp toward Amber Heard. And at that point, Amber doubled down on an argument she's going to make. She's arguing that under anti-SLAPP laws, she was protected in being able to write this article because what she was doing was something she had a right to say under the First Amendment. And she said, for example, what I was talking about, what we as a country were talking about at the time. She's talking about how she wanted to talk about this openly. Amber also was Camille crossed Amber on the counterclaim, where, according to Amber, statements by Johnny Depp's lawyer, Waldman, were defamatory toward her and hurt her career. So Waldman's statement, Camille pointed out, was on page 8 of 12 in an article about a number of things. And Camille Vasquez hit them pretty hard on the idea that the real reason that Amber Heard's career suffered was not because of anything Waldman said. It was because of the fact that these real true facts were coming out, where Amber Heard was saying on audio, I hit him. Amber Heard was saying on audio, that really terrible things, and that was what was causing the problem. There was also pretty effective cross on the issue of damages. That's something, if Amber Heard is going to recover, she has to prove. And I thought Camille Vasquez did a pretty good job of suggesting that really Amber Heard doesn't have a lot of damages. We haven't heard much. Her career seemed to continue along. She has been, she was rehired for Aquaman 2. She kept her L'Oreal contract. And there were things Amber said that it was harder. She had to work harder. Her role was cut. But those are not real clear. You used to have this job, now you don't. It made it much squishier, I would call it. And then the last and probably one of the most effective pieces of cross was all the times where Amber Heard admitted that she hit Johnny. In audio, where she said, I can't promise you I won't get physical. Sometimes I get so mad I lose it. Or where she said, I was not hitting you, I was punching. Sorry, I said that backwards. I was not punching you, I was hitting you. There were all sorts of times like that. And one where Johnny said to her, you clocked me. And she said, well, okay, yes, I did mean to hit you, but I didn't mean this other thing that I did. So those were effective ways of showing that she's admitted to a lot of the abuse that he claims she did. Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe and come back for the next video.